Hello and welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Grand Arena Championships. This is Season 8, Week 2, Round 3. This is the finals for this week. I'm currently 2-0 for the week and 5-0 for the season, and looking for another sweep. This round we are going against Konstantinos, and let's look at how we match up. Okay, you can see that I have quite a bit more green on my side than red on his. So let's see how the breakdown looks. In terms of lifetime stats, I have quite a few more wins than he does, way more undersized, and about double the defense. So he does a lot more on offense than on defense, it looks like. But let's look at how we match up on our rosters. All right, you can see I, for once, have a GP advantage, both on overall top 80 and top 65. I have about 6 more Zetas than him, but in our top 80, he actually has the speed advantage over me, which for me is a rarity. I do have more G13s. I do have more relic levels, although he does have the only relic 7 in the game. In terms of mods, I've got an advantage on the 6-dot mods, as well as it looks like I have overall an advantage on the speed in mods, although again, he's got a little advantage on his top 80 tunes in speed. Let's go ahead and look at the board. So you can see at the time of my attacks, he had already attacked and he failed to clear either of the front 2 zones. The bottom zone here, which was my harder zone, he cleared my Padme squad in one, along with my Shaak Ti clones in one, but he did drop a battle against Newt and Dooku and Jango, and he just left Jango. On the top here, he cleared my Poggle Droideka B2 squad and my Bastila in one. He dropped a squad on my Night Sisters, and he didn't even attempt the Maul Marauder squad. It looks to me like he could come back and attack these again, but let's see what he left me for defense. On the top, he's got a Shaak Ti clone squad. He's got 2 Ewok squads, not just one. And then he has another clone squad with a Cody lead. So we'll see what we can do with all of that. On the bottom, he left Geo's, his toughest squad, which is his Padme, and then a Karth team. All right, so I had a plan for how I was going to attack these, and that plan kind of hinged on me being able to get through his Padme squad with my Jedi Knight Revan. Now, his relic levels are a little higher, but I was pretty confident going into this match that it wouldn't be an issue. I have my Darth Revan as well, and I thought about using that, but I decided I could go through this. So I went ahead and I marked Padme right off the bat, and then after that, I was just doing single attacks so that I wouldn't be building up additional defense for them. So you can see I'm not calling anybody. I did the AoE to swap turn meter back to Yoda, and I went ahead and stole all those buffs so that I could spread them around and get some foresight up. But after that, I just was doing individual attacks, and I really did think at this point that I was going to get Padme down, and then we move on to Anakin, and you see I got her in the yellow, and then that happened. She went ahead and spun her defense up and healed all the way back up. I tried to steal the Retribution, but I didn't have my spread buff thing ready to go, so I'm just doing individual attacks here. Their Savior got procced on Jedi Knight Revan, which is unfortunate because I was hoping that it would proc on Jolee right there when he died. So I'm in trouble at this point, but I'm just hoping I can get Padme down so that I can bring a kind of a B-level team to clean this team up. If I can't get Padme down, then I am worried that I won't be able to clear this squad at all. And there Anakin got 2 kills in a row, and I'm defeated. So I really only have one option at this point to take that Padme down, and that is my Darth Revan squad, which I could have used in the beginning, but I was trying to be judicious. I wanted to split my Darth Revan squad up and use Malik as a solo. That's not happening at this point because I just felt I had to get this team down. So went ahead and put shock on GK, and then moved back over to Padme. Went ahead and checked to make sure they didn't have any tenacity up, so I could fear them all. And at this point, it's just a matter of time before they start dropping. So, drained life on Padme, got her out of there. Did my Force Lightning and got Anakin, and then GK's down. In the end, this is good. It got past the battle. But really, that was, in effect, what I had been thinking of as 3 teams. Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Revan without Malak, and then Malak was going to be a solo. And instead, I used them all on that Padme. So here I have my Traya, Scion, and Nihilus to go against his Geos. But I decided I'm going to pull Nihilus off this squad because I already feel like I'm overcommitted with that Padme. And so I decided just to give Traya and Scion a little bit more cover, I'd put Juani on there as another tank, hoping that I can then use Nihilus down the road to make up for some of those teams that I already wasted. And you can see the Geos are doing their normal thing. And I decide I'm going to go ahead and pull some of that pressure off of Scion and Traya now and get my taunt up with Juhani. And so I do that. Re-isolate the Brute. And I wasn't too worried about them killing Juhani. I figured if she dies, that's fine. She served her purpose of keeping Traya and Scion alive, and now I get my Hell by Hatred up. So I'm not worried about Scion anymore. And I'm able to get Brood out. And then this happens, and Spy gets a big hit off on Traya. But because Brood Alpha's already gone, I'm not worried. I feel like I still have this one. I'm able to strip the buffs off. In the end, I end up just killing the Brood and then getting Soldier down. So 49 is not pretty banners, but took it down in one shot, and I was able to save my Nihilus for another squad. Alright, here's where I got a little cocky, I think. A little overconfident. He's got this cart squad, and they're all gear 12, and they all have their Zetas, but I know that Kylo, OG Kylo, can sometimes solo them, but mine is not relicked, so I threw Hoda in there thinking maybe that would be enough. And so I went and figured I'd give it a shot. I pulled Kylo off of a team that I normally put on defense anyway, and I substituted Hux on there instead, which I think makes that a better defensive squad anyway. And you can see this didn't work at all. So that was an experiment gone totally wrong. They ate him up really fast. And so now I'm left with a Karth team, and again, I'm really trying not to overcommit because I am worried about what he might have in the back, even though those front squad didn't look like much. So here I have Thrawn, and I put TIE Fighter because another Empire, and here's where I'm going to go ahead and use that Nihilus that I saved from the Traya team in order to help out, figuring I may need something strong to get through his Zalbar. I probably should not have taken TIE here. I probably should have taken something like Shore Trooper with his taunt. Neither one of them are well geared, so I don't know that it would have mattered that much. Also, really unfortunate there early on, my Nihilus tried to reduce cooldowns and failed on all 3 of them. All 3 resisted. So he's still a ways away from Annihilate. So here I'm just biding my time, and sure enough, TIE Fighter goes down anyway. So I just try and keep Fracture up on Zalbar so he can't taunt. And here we go, past turn meter back to Nihilus and got the Annihilate. And I decide that Mission's actually my biggest threat in terms of damage. So I went ahead and took her out. And now I'm just going to go ahead and work on getting Annihilate back up. In the meantime, I'll fracture Zalbar so I can hit Karth. And at this point, I'm a little worried because Nihilus is a little low, but thankfully Thrawn can cleanse that off, and then we get Karth down, get another fracture on Zalbar, and Annihilate's up again. So, not pretty. 28 banners total, but the front is clear. So looking at his back zone, he's got a Newt Dooku Wat, an Empire squad, this Phasma Kylo Wampa, and a Poggle Sunfac Droidica team hiding down there. So at this point, I decided I'm going to go up and clear out those top squads so that I can get back to the ships. And his toughest squad by far is the Shock T clones. So I saved my Commander Luke team for that. And I'm hoping that I can just get Shock out from the initial volley with Han. And I almost did, but not quite. And then Fives went ahead and taunted. So I decided with my CLS, I'm going to clear the taunt from Fives. And then we do so much damage that I decided let's just kill Fives off. And then we'll move over to Shock, even though Shock healed, kill Shock. And finally get Rex. And there we go. So quick work of that. 53 banners, much more like it. That bottom zone had me struggling a lot more than I'm used to. Now we've got double Ewok teams. So this first batch of Ewoks, I decided I'd go with Nest because it was a little bit tougher of the Ewok squad. Throwing on fast forward here. The thing about this particular setup with Chirpa and Wicket and Elder is that they don't have any way to stun. They don't have any taunt to hide Elder behind. So it's just a matter of time before Nest tears them to pieces. And there we go, a 55. So that's looking good. Getting my mojo back a little bit. Next I have another set of Ewoks, but oh no, I decided to go for the clones, that's right. And I've said my JTR is my best bet. And this might have made a mistake because he does have his Echo in here, and Echo can stun droids. So after taking JTR in, I was a little worried in there. He threw his grenade, but my droids both resisted. So that was really lucky. Probably a mistake by me to take this particular squad in here, but ended up working out all right. After that, I realized, oh, Echo better be the one that I take out next. Even though I was actually worried about Arc more in terms of damage, I figured Echo would be the more dangerous to my particular team. So decided to work on him. A couple more hits, and he's down here with the burning. And Arc Trooper's going to steal some banners from me, but in the end, not a problem. Now, I wasn't too worried about my banner count at this point because I had already cleared a zone. I was confident I'd clear this one and his ships. But there was also the possibility that he would come back and start attacking again. So I did have to worry at least a little bit about efficiency. So coming back to this Ewok squad, I decided that I would throw in just a solo Wampa. Figured if Nest could solo him, then so could Wampa. So throw this on fast forward again as well. This time there is Paploo, so there is the taunt up, but there wasn't a whole lot of damage there. I took Scout out first actually because he was the bigger damage threat, but none of these were really a threat at all. And you can see Wampa made quick work of them. So another 55. And that clears the top zone so I can open up the ships. And it looks like he left me his Millennium Falcon Home 1 team. So let's go. Decided to go ahead and take that out now. And I'm just going to take my Negotiator fleet in. Just my normal lineup. I like to put Ahsoka in my starting lineup rather than 5s. Now, ships aren't super interesting to me, and I wasn't worried about losing this one, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this. You can see how the battle plays out. Pretty normal. Negotiator, I think, tends to dominate home one. Although I'm very, very interested in the new Y-Wing, and I was really, really hoping to unlock it, but it looks like I'm going to come up about 15 shards short when this chase ends. I've already expended all of my crystals and refreshed and refreshed and refreshed like crazy to try to get as many of those shards as possible, and it just didn't happen. And you can see here, I one more volley here, and there goes Millennium Falcon. So 59 is not fantastic, but part of that is because my negotiator is only 5 stars, so I take a hit for that right from the get-go. All right, so I am just left with this bottom zone. We got about an hour and a half left. He still hasn't started attacking again, and of the bottom zone, this Nute Dooku Watt team is definitely the most difficult, but I had kept my bugs because I felt like this would be the best counter I had, and frankly, I love using bugs against Nute because Nute puts out that extortion, and the bugs can pay it off and still get their assists. So I went ahead and I took out Watt first, even though he'd already taken and given out his 2 techs. I figured I know he can revive Separatists and didn't want to mess with that. So next I decided to ignore Dooku and all of his crazy counters and decided to kill Nute. Even though Nute's going to come back, when he came back, he's going to come back without that tech that Watt gave him. So I figured that was a good thing. Now here's my mistake. They're both under stealth, so I should have shifted back to Nute and just taken him out, and I didn't. And I went after Dooku. And Dooku started going crazy on me. He has 2 of my guys stunned right now, and you're going to see he's going to continue hitting away on my guys, and there's a 3rd one stunned, and the extortion's starting to do its work, and by the time I finally was smart enough to go, oh, I should be hitting Nute here and try and get Nute down that 2nd time, Dooku started taking people out. And here we go, one more hit of extortion, and I'm gone. So that was super unexpected, and mostly, I think, my fault. But now I'm stuck with Nute and Dooku, and I decide I'm going to do Palpatine, Vader, and Savage. I just felt like I needed a 3rd just to spread the damage around a little more. I went ahead and killed Nute off the bat there, and thankfully they're both stealth. Now I knew that Savage's big hit wasn't going to kill Nute because he was in the yellow, but I was thinking that Nute was really low. Maybe Savage's hit would just kill him anyway, which was dumb, and that didn't work. And you can see Dooku is putting in work again, just stunning these guys like crazy. I'm going to have to look at what his potency was because he just kept stunning me all over. Eventually, I do start getting some work on him and get ability block on him and get stunned some more. And here I'm just saying, all right, he's in the yellow. If Savage just gets his attack more done, but Savage gets stunned again. So this Dooku was really the star of the show. Makes me want to get my own Dooku's potency up a little more. And eventually, though, we did get him down. 50 banners, not great. But again, I'm just thinking if I full clear this board, even if my opponent comes back and gets me full cleared, I should be able to win. At least I'm hoping. And now I'm going to go ahead and take out his Empire squad. It's Tarkin, Vader, and Shore Trooper. And I decided, I looked at their speeds and I looked at their health. and that shore trooper's only gear 9, so he's not super tanky. So I decided I'm going to give my troopers a try, and hopefully I can get shore down fast enough to get the turn meter train going. And sure enough, Tarkin and Vader both get an attack in, but there we go, got the kill. Able to move on, and Tarkin's pretty squishy. And then on to Vader, who was the only gear 12 of the bunch. But at this point, my guys have some momentum and lots of buffs, and there we go, 52. I wish I could invest more gear into my troopers because they always come up big, but I never feel like I can. Alright, here we have a Poggle Sunfac Droideka, and at this point I'm just going with kind of some of my better characters left. So I've got my HK, who's Relic 4 and 3PO, and then I threw in Echo thinking, well, there's a droid in here and my Echo's gear 12, and so maybe he'll be able to stun Droideka, but stupidly I threw my grenade when Droideka had his immunity up. So that was stupid, and then Echo's down. So total waste. Again, so many misplays this round for me, and part of that is just maybe being under the gun, not having as much time left, and rushing, or just being dumb. So here I'm just stuck waiting on Droideka to lose his damage immunity, and it's just a matter of time. I'm just doing basics until he comes out of it, and once he comes out of it, I'm trying to get him down, but he rolled right back up. So now I'm decided I'm gonna wait. I've got my big hit ready on HK, so I'm just waiting for him to drop that immunity, and as soon as he does, I will hit him with my big hit and hopefully get him down. So get a confused up on him with an expose, and bam, one shot, one kill. 48 because I lost Echo, but through that squad. Here I have a Phasma, Kylo, and Wampa team, and I decide I'm gonna be daring and gonna go with the Aura Sing lead with the Bosk and Mandalorian. Looks like the Aura Sing lead looks like the easiest to get the contract up on it, based on all the fights I've watched. So I figured I could hide him behind Bosk, and he would take the bulk of the hits. I was a little worried about Wampa's AoE and of Kylo's AoE, but I was hoping the contract would get up fast enough that I could take one of them out with Mando. And so we're just working on Wampa here. And for a second I thought maybe I'd be able to get Wampa down just by himself. But you can see Aura's already struggling. And thankfully, right here, I get my contract up, get Bosk to get his taunt back, about to lose Aura. And here's the Mandalorian, and I'm slowing it down here, able to get Kylo there, which is fantastic. I figure even if I lose and have to come clean up, Mando gets his one kill, so I'm happy about that. I start working on Phasma, I get the stun off. And at this point, I'm not even really thinking I'm going to beat this squad, but there we go. We got Phasma down too. Here I'm just hoping that Mando can stay alive long enough to get another Annihilate off, Vaporize, whatever it's called. And unfortunately, Wampa has really got himself ramped up, and there goes Bosk. So I am thinking I'm a dead man, but boom, Mando gets it yet again. So 2 kills for Mando, 47. Not a good banner score, but still satisfying. So there we have it, one of my least efficient clears in quite a while, 2381. Turns out Konstantinov never did come back, which is really weird to me because I think he usually saves more of his team for offense than for defense, and I felt like he could have come back and done more, but he didn't. In any event, another week of 3-0. Thank you, Konstantinos, for the match, and thank everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.